Good evening, folks. Oh, poor baby Elbow. He's scared. He's scared, everybody. He's out of Chicago and he doesn't know where he is. He's scared. Oh, the sob story. Cry me a fucking ocean. Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that curse word, but there it is. No, you love yourself. You don't love anybody else, or you wouldn't find yourself in this position. That being, and you know, when you said, who will come rescue me if I'm broke down on the side of the road? Guess what? Nobody. 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 Even Mr. X left you there. Pull your big girl panties up. Pull your big girl panties up and suck it up, Buttercup. Now you have to be an adult. Isn't that a bitch? 38 years old and hasn't had to be an adult yet. Wee, 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 cry me a river. Wee, wee. And you know, like I said, there is a line in a song that suits this exactly how I feel, and probably a lot of you, is a Phil Collins song. And it says, if you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. Bottom line. Suck it up, Buttercup. Now you need a shirt that says, I'm adulting today. You can't be that 12-year-old scared little boy sitting behind your steering wheel, boo-hooing and boo-hooing. Hey, Cindy, aloha. And we're good, Cindy. We're good. I've just been busy all day, so no worries. But yeah, so now he's in dire straits. The house of cards is crumbling. Hey, Olivia, happy birthday. Yay. I know I said, could this day get any, it's karma. It's karma to finally bite him in his ass. And now he has to grow up. You got to figure out yourself because you've burned every relationship you've probably ever had. Call your family. Oh, that's right. They wouldn't help you either. Call Rosie. Nope, she ain't going to help you either. Mr. X, he left you there hanging. Figure it out yourself. You're a big boy. Oh, thanks, Olivia. Yeah, it's it's one of my favorite spots, so I like it right there. Yep, it's worse than a battery. If he turns his key, it's either ignition, starter, or he sees the engine up. And he said it just quit running as he's going down the road. Well, that wouldn't happen if and it wasn't the battery. The battery is fine, and he had another one in the back anyway. Rosie put that one in. Remember? So that's bullshit. And you're probably sitting there and this is probably one of the biggest scams he's probably tried to pull. Oh, boo-hoo me, I don't have it. I've lost my income and I don't have, boo-hoo. You're a big boy. Figure it out. Ignition, it could be a wiring issue for that, it could be as simple as, the ground or the positive on the starter. Maybe they're not making, they're not connecting enough. It's not the battery. If it was the battery, the alternator would keep running it down the road. The only thing that you need the battery for is to start your engine, not to run your engine. And I don't have to be SAC certified to know that, because I are smart. Well, whatever it is, Kev, he didn't listen to us when we told him, you need to, yeah, the solenoid could be it. Yep. We told him long ago that he needs to have a plan B. He needed to have a plan in case it breaks down somewhere. But he always depended on having his AdSense and having his Super Chat and having people donate to him. I'm leaving YouTube, folks. Yeah, sure you are. You mean YouTube left you? Yeah, he was having problems with his alternator. Yep. But what it boils down to, no maintenance. A 30-year-old vehicle needs a lot of maintenance. Something that, for one thing, he doesn't know how to maintain it. For two, he just ignores it until, like now, he's stuck on the side of the road. Maybe you should have listened to some of us, Elbow. And look where you are now. No money, nobody cares, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, for all we know. Yep, it's neglect. Yeah, it's everything. Hey, if it still goes and it still runs, it's fine. I don't need to put money into it. What do you mean, Elvis? Well, yeah, if you're our Elvis, you'll know what to put in the side chat. Oh, he's in a suburb? Well, but he's not in his element. Hey, monkey boy. No money, no friends, no life. There you go. The trifecta. Yes, the trolls, some of us claim to be and some of us don't, were right. I tried to tell him. But I'm a troll. What do I know? You know, he's not even going to take the time to even digest what I say. And not just what I say, but Brad Silverdog and everybody else telling him, hey, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I ask again, what are you going to do? You're over there boo-hooing and boo-hooing after you call out people their name. You tell people that they aren't shit. You abuse people, you use people, and now we're supposed to care? Sorry, that's not how the world turns. It just isn't. Yes, North Shore Towing, where are you when we need you? You are loved, North Shore. Good grief. You know, the really funny part about it, I didn't know he was live when he was on the side of the road. I didn't figure it out until afterward. And I'm talking about the exact same thing as it's happening. It kind of freaked me out. But Cindy knows what I'm talking about. And that my juju has been on point. Oh, he said he was broke yesterday and then $200 suddenly appears. Well, he must have been wearing out those knee pads, folks. Mm-hmm. I bet he did. You know, because in all reality, that's the only experience he has. He doesn't even have the experience to be the night manager, overnight manager, the graveyard shift at the adult bookstore. I know, Tasha. How could it just break down like that? What could it be? And if you go back to when he was standing on the side of the road crying because I need your support. The last like 20 seconds of that, he's got something crawling on his shirt. And to me, it looked like a cockroach. So somebody might want to go back and catch that. Exactly, Bob. Why should any of us help him? We're not his friends. You know, he burnt those bridges long ago. He's on his own. It was a wasp. Oh gosh, I hope it stung him right in the neck. Can you can you see him and his neck's hang out with this big mini me on the side of his neck? You know, look like somebody put an orange underneath his skin. And he's probably going, I need your help, folks. I got stung by a bee today and I'm kind of woozy. Oh, good grief. It's an oversized bed bug. It was something. Because I was looking at it on my phone and it just didn't look big enough. I knew it was a bug, but I didn't know what kind. Well, if you had to think about what that could be, it could be that how many times does he start that thing a day? Probably 10, 15 times. Then you times that by 30. And it's lucky it worked because, they don't last that long. Yep, medical bag isn't, yep, the coil. Yeah, all of those things. But that's going to cost him to have somebody diagnose it, and he said he was, at a shop, but he didn't know if he was going to use them because they were kind of pricey. Well, what option do you have, fat boy? The mechanic's not going to come to you. So you better just suck it up and have it fixed where you sit. If they can do it. If they even want to do it. God knows for all they know, they look at that thing and going, no, and they look at him and they're going, no, we're not going to pay up first, buddy. Because he looks like a bum in a van. Yeah, $100 and up. Yeah, and especially on his because it's a larger vehicle. It's probably going to cost him 10, 20% more. Just my opinion. Allegedly, supposedly, just my opinion. He did ask us to say that. Yes, it's just my opinion. Could be, Joseph, could be, but lots of and he probably has the recreational vehicle insurance on that thing that it's not supposed to be driven 24/7, 365. They do the RV insurance by it being used approximately 6 months out of the year, even if that, so he probably the roadside assistance on that would probably cost him more than the insurance. But that's why you put money aside for things like that. It's a 30-year-old vehicle. It's going to dump on you one of these. Well, that day is here. And, pro bono mechanic. Well, if he knew anything about mechanics, Tasha, he'd be able to figure it out for himself. But for a man who says that he's a nomad, who doesn't know the difference between a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver, or black tape from electrical tape, He probably couldn't even change a tire if he had to. Mr. X, I have a flat tire. Come and save me. Nope, you're on your own. You know? He sure was, Dragon Law. Yep. That's what happens. He got cocky again, and full of himself, and bam! Karma bit you in the ass again. Well, he should have thought of plan B a week ago when he lost his AdSense, not knowing where the next money's going to come from. Why is he gallivanting around up in Milwaukee? He should be making a resume and hitting cold calls, just going into places. And for one thing, he will not be able to do the trucking again. For one, his medical is expired and his learner's permit has expired for driving. They don't just give it to you for years. No, it's for 2 years. And then if you haven't had any accidents or issues, then you get a permanent one. At least that's what they do it in some states. I don't know about there, allegedly, supposedly, maybe, I don't know. But that's been my experience. And the 2 years is up. So good luck with that one, and getting a reference from anywhere. Remember, he's 1 out of 4,000 that ever failed the test. Even his nephew said so. So he has no business getting behind the wheel of a large, heavy, moving object. I do too. Joseph, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. But my source, just went, so he left town. I go, well, I might have scared him a little bit, he his head was on a swivel for days, but like I said, don't call out people unless you want to be called out back. Outback. Ooh, Outback Station. Even that's not open here. I don't know what he's probably scared. He's probably getting the hell out of Chicago. There's enough people after him that want him, the law included. But that's what I bet he's running from. Oh, good grief. What a day, what a day. Gotta get my dinner in the microwave. Yeah, if he was actually crying, he'd milk that. And you see the tears running down my eyes. Your tears don't run down your eyes, they run down your cheek. Yep, you got that, Tears for Beers. That's right. Well, even if it is a starter, he doesn't even know what it is. He just said, look, I turn the key and nothing happens. Well, troubleshoot it, dipshit. Oh, that's right. He knows nothing about vehicles, how they work, what makes them go. And he's the only one who can blame himself for his one fuel tank not working. Apparently so, Bob. It's Chef Boyardee time. Top ramen and water. Got to save those pennies now, Elbow. You know, ain't nobody going to give you any. Hey, I see Aloha. Sorry, I missed you. Tasha. I don't know, Sue Pete. I don't know. You know, he's really pushed the envelope of anybody wanting to give him anything for any reason. But then again, I could be wrong. You know, there could be another sugar daddy out there somewhere. Well, someone talks to you. Exactly. We've been telling him that for months. That he went out and ate not just 3 meals a day, but 5. And now he's not in his comfort zone where he knows, you know, the area where he's at. You know, that makes him even. And, oh, shut up. Good grief. You bully. Come here. What does Elbow say? Hey, what does Elbow say? Hey, what does Elbow say? All right, you're not going to cooperate tonight. Yeah, even Waddy doesn't like it. And now he's just sitting duck. He can't move. He can't go nowhere. You know, it's dark outside. Aw, maybe he'll have a nightmare or two tonight. But he only shares the stupid stories. He never shares the real dream or nightmare. Quack, quack. Well, there you exactly, Tears. Exactly. That's a given. I don't know though. You know, his heart may not be in it. Well, Sue Pete, and not only that it's 31 years old, that he's been living in it 24/7 for over 5 years. And he's done no maintenance. No, not even required maintenance. Like the front end. He drove out of town with that front end being bad, unless Mr. X did buy the parts and they did have them replaced, and we just didn't know. But of course, he would milk that too. No, he's at a tow. They had to tow him off the road. And he's at some shop somewhere in the suburbs of Milwaukee or something. I don't know. I didn't pay close enough attention to really even care. All I know is karma bit him in the ass, and he's sitting alone and lonely tonight. And if he wants a little strange, you better try the left hand tonight. Yes, exactly, P2E. Exactly. It's the care. I mean, my truck, my Nissan Xterra, I bought it brand new. And it's an 04. Cajun Kev had the same one. And I did have to put a bunch of money into it here recently, but that's after 150,000 miles. And that was a new timing chain, the whole top end rebuilt, alternator, new clutch, new brakes, and new radiator. And the AC has been worked on before. So yeah, I mean, you got to put money into it if you want to keep it running good and last you. Because when I bought it, I said to myself that this may be the last vehicle I will ever have to buy, and I've treated it with that in mind. Oh, and a water pump, that too. All the hoses, all the belts were changed. So my mechanic said, you basically almost have a new car here with all the parts and stuff you've done to it and kept up on it. And I changed the clutch. I was really surprised. I thought it was getting really worn out, and it was only down past the grooves in one or two little spots. I probably could have got another 40,000 miles out of it, but I didn't want to. Since we live in such hills, you're either going uphill or downhill here. So, I thought my clutch was worse than it was, but no, it was still in pretty good shape. Oh, is that what happened, Callie? You're correct. That's who called Mr. X telling him to hurry up, sweetie. Oh, you guys make me laugh, and I appreciate it so much. Somebody drain the oil. Now there's one, yeah. Of course, the potato in the tailpipe wouldn't work because it's all rusted out from the muffler. There's hardly any pipe left. And that's another thing he doesn't get, that if your muffler and pipes are bad, you're going to lose power, and you're going to kill yourself in the process with carbon monoxide. But, what do we know? We don't know nothing. Yeah, Monkey Boy, exactly. The only thing I wish, there's two things I wish that I would have gotten. Well, one thing I would have changed when I got it was to have door locks and intermittent wipers. That's the only two things I wish I would have had on it. But, and then the other thing I wish I would have gotten on it is, now I wish I had an automatic, but that's all right. I still get 20 miles to the gallon in town, so it's not too bad. Of course, it's my gutless wonder, but Yeah, mine, we couldn't diagnose it for the timing chain. That's why I didn't know what was going on. Um, because it would have this horrible clatter, 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 it sounded like horse hooves running around asphalt. That sound like I told my mechanic, it sounds like uh, marbles in a glass jar. And we took it down. I took it down there, and he changed the oil on. He pulled the stick and looked at it, and he said, "This isn't right. We changed your oil not even 400 miles ago." And he said, "There's something in the oil." I didn't know what it was, but what it turned out to be was carbon built up on my valves. So when they changed the timing chain, it was completely disintegrated. The guides were gone, and it was ready to go any minute. And I'm so lucky that it didn't, break on me. So then they went to start the car up, and it wouldn't start. So they went through and made sure that everything was hooked up right, and they did everything. And in the last two cylinders, the third cylinder had 20 pounds pressure, and the number four cylinder had about 10. So they went ahead and pulled the head off, and there was so much carbon built up that those two cylinders, the valves weren't closing on it. And he said, "How in the world did you not lose power?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "Because it's always had, power, but I thought it was my clutch." But then we realized that it was the carbon built up. So they rebuilt the top end, and he told me to come down and look at it, and he showed me the piston walls, and the piston walls still had grooves in it. And he said that it's your lower end of your engine looks perfect. So, and yeah, I spent some money. I dropped some coin on it. And no, I didn't do a GoFundMe for it. I paid for it myself. The GoFundMe for my truck repairs was a joke. And most of the people in the side chat were in on the joke. And it was just to get Elbow pissed off. And it worked. He chimped hard the next day. And well, you had to GoFundMe for this. And no, I didn't. No, I didn't. You can ask Ace. You can ask, I don't know who else was in it. Leanie was in on it. A couple other people too. It was a big joke. Oh, I need repair money. Oh, no, I've got plenty of money in the bank to cover it. That's not a problem. Wow, 40,000. Whoo, that must have been some Volvo. Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to keep it, because I'm the only one that's ever driven it. I've put 99.9% of the miles on that. One of my friends drove it like around town one day, and my ex drove it, I think, once or twice. But, and I know I've never run it hot. I've never neglected to get a repair done when it needed to be done. And my mechanic said, "You could probably get another 100,000 miles out of this." And I said, 100? I'm going for 150 more. He goes, "Well," and I go, "Because I drive like a little old lady. Just going to the beach twice on Sunday." Yeah, Carlos. Elbow picked the wrong guy to, call out. Just like he made a mistake calling me out. Yep, Bob, you're probably absolutely correct. Yep. They're dumb if they don't. All they have to do is look at him and how nasty and disgusting he is, that he's not showered or shaved in over a week. And he's probably smelling like a dumpster with fish guts in it that's been sitting in the sun for a day, you know. Um, and elbow, men's cologne does not replace a bath, a shower. The trolls of terror. No, it's called the trolls of karma. Hey, Irene, aloha. Happy days are here again. Do 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 do. Oh, you know, when your house of cards starts falling, they all fall. Not just some of them, not just the top ones, but them all. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. Bullshit. Mm. Oh my God, Dancing with the Stars is on. Carol Baskin is on Dancing in the Stars. Are you kidding? Wow. Well, I guess they can search her property for her ex-husband's bones buried somewhere. But that probably won't work because he got fed to the tigers. Just ask Joe Exotic. He knows all about that. Oh, all right, hold on. Let me look. Um, what was your question? Mm, I don't live in a house. No, I live in a house, but I don't own it. I pay rent, and not much at that. But I still have my bedroom at the coffee farm. Anytime I want to go there and hang out or stay, I just go. You know, no big deal. Yeah, landfill in the middle of summer. Ooh wee. You just need chloroform. Good grief, what are you going to do? No, sometimes I just don't pay attention. I'm not ignoring the side chat. I just it sometimes it goes fast and I can't catch up. So, um, let's see here. What's the other question? Question time. Would you have work? If you want to pick coffee, yeah. Um, bubble bath. I don't know about that one. Next. Yeah, no, I wish more people would come over and see me. You know, my offer, my invitation has always been open. You know, you get here, we'll have fun. Yeah, he fake cried. Yeah, I know you are. I know. I know. All right. Well, I'm going to. Gosh, where? Ugh. You know what I didn't do, and I should know better by now. Okay. That's why I can't read the side chat. Is I can't read it on the StreamYard site. The font is all messed up. So let me get comfortable here. Let me sit back in my easy chair. Gotta love that. Wow, I have all kinds of notifications. Good grief. Let's see. There you go, Olivia. There you go. I wouldn't have, you know, here's my thought on that. You know, they're going to be doing really good deals here when we get into vaccination or, whatever. So as soon as, you know, it's easier to travel and we kind of got this CV-19 under control, that those houses that I showed today, right on the water, we had a girls retreat and it was down by one of the other beaches. It wasn't that neighborhood, but it was down on the beaches. And that house had 5 or 6 bedrooms, and a couple of them were double occupancy, 2 beds or whatever, 2 queens. And we got that house for $300 a night. So it cost us, I think we had 10 or 11 girls, no guys, just the girls retreat. And for the 3 days that we had it for 4 days and 3 nights. Cost us $1,000 with the tax and everything. And then we just, everybody had to pay $110, for a house like beautiful. It was a beautiful house, and it had a really nice swimming pool and nice patio and lanai, 2-story, overlooking the water, but not on the water. So yeah. So if you get like 10 people together and do a house like that, and because it's a house, they have all the cooking utensils you need, everything you need. You just bring the food. And we had a blast. We got kind of drunk that night too. I remember somebody at like 2 a.m, maybe 3 a.m, out splashing in the pool on the big flamingo float. Oh. Yeah, the roads are narrow, but yeah, I don't think I'd want to be anywhere else. I do miss California. I don't miss it when it's on fire, but I still have my first class ticket for any time I want to use it. I've been to Maui. I've been to Oahu twice, and that was from the airport to the hospital, and from the hospital back to the airport. So I didn't really, I don't even call those going off the island, because big deal. That's the next video. The under wrapped extravaganza. You know what, hippie piece though? He's tried that too many times, and he tried it when he really didn't need it. You know. So now that he really needs it, nobody cares. You know. So and if he wouldn't have been such an asshole, you know, people might want to help him. But he hit that bridge, you know, with the kid. So that's on him. He did that to himself. And that's why his channel was terminated. It wasn't suspended. It was terminated. And after what, 10 days? It ain't coming back. For one, he won't acknowledge the mistake he made. Come here. He did nothing wrong in his eyes. Oh, the frogs are broken. Okay. Okay. All right, where are we? Let me read the. Yeah, it's like birds demanding, you know, show the love, show the love. He's just disgusting when he does that. I mean, I couldn't imagine demanding people to show me love. But love to him equals money. So, you know. No, we don't know anything about the boy yet. We probably won't. Because if he was of age, Elmo would have proved it. He would have done his best. He would have brought that kid on going, here's his ID. But let's think about that for a minute, folks. If he's 18, he may have an ID. He might. But he's probably no more than 14, 15. And a 14 or 15-year-old doesn't need an ID. They may have a school ID, but they don't have a state-issued ID. There's no need until he's 18. So because he's so concerned about what the trolls say, that he would have done his level best to prove that that kid was of age. Yep, 16 tops. Yep. The peach fuzz was still on the boy's chin. Well, yeah, I mean, he has a pattern how he tries to what's the word I'm looking for? That he tries to prove what he says. Just like when he holds up the tow ticket, all right? Proving to everybody, yeah, I had to have my van towed. You know? So he likes to prove things. Well, prove that Patrick was of age. And since you can't prove it and you've not even acknowledged it, that we all know that the kid wasn't 18. Now, what's the reason for him jetting out of town all of a sudden? My theory is that he uses Mr. X's address as a residence to get mail and such. I mean, he's got it somewhere. So my thinking is that the investigators were or had gone to Mr. X's house looking for him to question him. So if that happened, that's a reason for him to jet out of town real quick. And Mr. X, is going to do whatever he does. Went on his way, and left him there basically. Here, you're on your own. So, he likes to prove things like he did with his receipt, and we saw on the receipt it said EBT, which is food stamps. I didn't get food stamps. Bullshit. We proved you wrong because he shows us the evidence. He shows us the bullshit. And it's a pattern with him. He wants to so screw it to the trolls and prove them wrong that he will go out of his way to try to prove it. Since that didn't happen, then nothing, My question is, and my thought has always been the kid, is somebody pimping this kid out? That's what my thinking is. I hope not, but I know that happens. And I don't think so, Jamie. I don't think so. Because he's one to say immediately that nobody can get him on a Baker Act. And he can read and write, and he's ambulatory. So they're not going to give him SSI for that. And he sure can't prove he's got a mental issue. Be it that he does, but I don't think it's so severe that he can't work. He's just lazy. That's why he doesn't want to work. He's lazy. He's fat and lazy. And he has no work skills. And he has no work ethic. My mom was a business owner when I was growing up. My dad was the building inspector for the county. My mom always said, if you're on time to work, you're late. So I always made it a point, and that stuck in my head from the first time my mom employed me in the shop. And I've carried that through everything in my life. If I have an appointment, I'm there 15 minutes early. If I have a doctor's appointment, I'm there 15 minutes early. Whenever I worked, I got there early. So you're not walking in the door on time, frazzled, and then have to, rush around to try to figure out what you're doing. It's not worth it. It's just 15 minutes. I think so too, Boris. I think he is a major danger. Especially when he can't even admit he was wrong. Well, then, if you do get SSI, SSDI, you have to have a good lawyer then, because you can't fill out the papers yourself. Now, when my husband went on disability, Social Security, because for one, he had a bad back. He had double scoliosis, which not only did his spine curve, but it also twisted. And he had leukemia. So, but I still had to get a lawyer in order to appeal, and he got denied the first time, or everybody does. And I just remember the hassle that it was getting everything together for the lawyer. Yeah, it's just, I mean, being on time, I think is a quality trait. And I have one friend who she's never on time. It's probably why she's gone through probably 50 jobs in her lifetime. The only way he could get hurt on the job is if he zipped his poor little Willie up in his zipper. You know, that might be a job injury, because we know that he got terminated for doing the dirty deed at work. So there's that. Right. The only thing he's addicted to, that's right, Jaberlin. The only thing he's addicted to is porn. Porn and shawarmas. Ew, together? Ew. You hear the frogs. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. I do? I don't think I have a beautiful voice. Sometimes I feel like Helen after she's smoked a pack of cigarettes and drank a bottle of Jack, and has a hangover the next morning. That's kind of what I feel like I sound like. But anyway, yeah, it's frogs. They're coqui frogs. We don't have crickets. We have frogs. So. Oh, hot frog. Oh, good grief. I love your humor. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Have a wonderful tomorrow. And until next time, aloha.